Niggas say they gon' kill me, ain't kill me, like really? For real? Niggas say they gon' rob me, ain't rob me, like really? For real? These niggas ain't really real, my nigga. How I feel, my nigga. To see me on stage and spitting everything that I feel, my nigga. Feel my nigga. Nigga think they gangsta cause they pack heat. Have a nigga running like a track meet. GPZ, yellow, yeah, I'm the man. 10 toes down, I deserve to be crowned. Get down, lay down, either way you gon' stay down. We don't play round, 2 shots to your body. Walk through your hood with Hoggy, too hottie. Ain't scared of nobody, we air in the party. We catching the body, these niggas ain't real. Tell them little hoes they ain't real. Tell them little hoes they ain't real. They say they gon' kill, till they get drilled. Really?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Hello.
WTF. And hey!
Hello, everybody.
Veronica, what's going on?
I don't know what to say.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
All right,
Well,
Veronica, calm down.
Okay.
All right. I'm Gregory Black. This is my co-host, Veronica G. And we have a special guest today, as you can see all the way to the left of the screen, the WTF chairman, Nelson Torres. Nelson,
Yeah.
welcome.
What's up?
Awesome.
What's going on?
Not much. What's going on?
So you said last week that you had some things you wanted to cover. So I guess this is the time to start speaking about them. I guess we should go on. What exactly? I know we set for a match last show, but what was it that you wanted to speak on?
Yeah,
what
well,
was it exactly?
I'm not going to address what as far as that match goes. That was something that was totally different another time. I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So when okay. Anyway,
All right.
there was a few things that need to be said. First things first.
Absolutely.
We have. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first things first. For those who've been wondering for the last few weeks or few months, for that matter, we haven't been wrestling, obviously, because of this whole pandemic that's been going on. That's the obvious. We are going to be doing matches, at some point during the duration of the year, the rest of the calendar year, if you will. But I'm going to say it right here, and I have no choice but to say there's a good chance that throughout the whole year we might not have fans attending these shows at the present moment. That's shows. One. All right. That's just not something that I'm comfortable with at the moment. Whether it's I don't care what state we're doing it. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. There might be a handful of people, but right now it's going to take one day at a time. That's the best way to say it. I'm trying to create content, not just wrestling, but WTF TV in general, which is not easy. I've been throwing reruns and some stuff that's been coming from Las Vegas that we haven't shown yet, but we finally showed them. But now we're going to be doing new things coming up very soon. Awesome. So, including WTF Wrestling, and which, by the way, to remind everybody, WTF TV and Wrestling is the two of the same under one brand. Just making that everybody.
So they're under the same umbrella, pretty much.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's one thing and after another, but that's a whole different ball game. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
Veronica, you have anything you want to say?
No, sure. Actually, I wanted your input. Last week, Gregory, it was crazy, the episode we had last week. But we want
madhouse.
Definitely, more drama. But we want Nelson's input on this, particularly with Trigger and everything that's been going on from last week on and on.
I just said I'm not discussing.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'll make this short. I'll make this short though. It's not 100% official just yet. I can say that right now. So I know it was crazy last week. So yeah. So that's an old thing here and there. So if people were to actually discuss things prior, then it would have been a whole different story. But nonetheless, this live feed, whatever, is pretty much a free for all, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to talk about something that's actually near and dear to me, and in the sense pertaining to WTF, which is currently the tag team tournament. Now, right now, we've had one match, one round. I'm sure that there are a lot of fans out there that are watching WTF Wrestling, and they would like to know what teams could we expect to see in this tournament?
Mm.
That is a good question. We've been trying to get all different teams from the tri-state area, or whoever can come, which is still open, by the way, because we're still working on the tournament. But the tournament is being put on hold, obviously, because of the whole pandemic. But at the same time, we are still opening for any teams that is willing to be part of this tournament. You know, it's a very short tournament, but a good one too, to crown new WTF tag team champions, which has not been done since 2015.
Wow.
So the last tag team champions were the Great Manga and Hellfire, but you know they're not even around. But that's another story for another day. But at the present moment, again, we are looking for teams that are willing to be part of this tournament. And if everybody's interested, just as the cliche goes online, DM me, if you will, or contact me on Facebook. I'm not a hard person to find.
Awesome.
As far as the state of affairs of WTF, well, I wanted to hear your opinion because we didn't really get to speak on it after the last episode that we had, the one that featured the World Heavyweight Championship match. But I wanted to know what your opinion was on the entire scene as far as the World Title division as a whole, like as it pertained to what happened after the ladder match, because there was a lot of unanswered questions that were there, and a lot of what ifs. So I would like to hear your take on that particular situation.
Well, first things first, Venom, he's still WTF World Champion. That has not changed at all. That was the last official match that we did right before this whole thing went crazy in New York City.
Yeah,
we managed to do this while the pandemic was on the rise. So we weren't sure at the time. So there's still so many questions. Like, look, Venom is still world champion. Trigger still has the rise to the top briefcase, which, by the way, he still has to cash it in, but right before or on February 4th, 2021. So that's the deadline. So hopefully, Trigger is aware of that. That's one thing. Now, as far as anything else, the world challenge picture right now, I know. Just not speaking for Venom, but I know he's one of those people that would take and accept challenges from anybody. Right now we're trying to see if we can create a number one contender right now because we have not yet. We're trying to see if we can get that together. Maybe like a match in the future that who could be the top contender for the WTF World Heavyweight Championship. But right now, as you already know, we have Venom as the world's champion. Trigger as the rise to the top holder. The tag team titles are vacant, and right now Skulls is still the WTF United Continental Championship. So,
and speaking of the United Continental Championship, Skulls has pretty much had quite a win streak. So when do you think he's going to face that first real challenge?
That is a good question. I'm not sure just yet because there's a lot of guys vying for the not just the World Championship but the United Continental Championship. We've been trying to get many guys to contend for that too. We can even have a contendership for that as well, which is not as easy as it looks. You just don't become a number one contender. You got to really work your way up there. So that's one of the things that I'm working on right now, trying to get everybody together, trying to see if anybody wants to be part of the tag team championship scene, as I aforementioned earlier. So right now that the tournament is on hold, but it doesn't mean it's not done yet. We still have to crown tag team champions. So, the tournament is currently on hold. So until whenever.
Veronica, you want to ask anything?
I'm waiting. Okay. So actually, as being the chairman and CEO of this amazing movement you're doing, overall, what do you want to do in the near future for your expansion of WTF Wrestling?
Funny you say that because I was thinking about this. Besides WTF TV and WTF Wrestling, me personally, in 5 years, I hope we're still doing this somehow, whether we're doing it on public access or a higher platform, which I do believe that I'm working on on WTF World as a platform to show videos of past episodes, not just YouTube, because YouTube are assholes.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. I don't care if we get strikes for that. Fuck them. Anyway, if have like it's gonna be. This is what I want to do, and I'm still open to this, and I'm still working on this. Trying to have WTFworld.com not just a site to visit WTF stuff or WTF merchandise, which we're working on later,
Nice.
but also to have a platform kind of like a Netflix or a WWE Network. I'll say it from here, something along those lines. And
So our own app.
That way people I want WTF World to be a social media website. A social media website, not just socialize, but also to show media. That hence the word. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like cliche at the same time, but we're looking. But I'm just looking to expand and make something WTF more than what it is right now. We want the logo to be everywhere. We just don't want to just be in one place, not just in New York or New Jersey. We want it all over. You know what I mean? We're everywhere. Even Antarctica, if I could.
So more than a local brand, more than a national brand, you want it to be an international brand at some point in time.
If that could be possible, right? Stranger things have happened,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. Oh, go ahead. You do. Go ahead. You do.
No, you do it. You do it because I've asked like the first 10 minutes was me asking questions.
No, I think we all see the question. But all right, the question to you, Nelson, is what do you think of Big Time Jason? And be honest.
What about him?
Oh wow!
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I was one of the best person in your company in that.
Well, he was a former world champion. That's the best way to describe him.
Oh wow! Nothing else besides that. I mean,
well, he's a nice guy, I guess, if you want to call that. He shaves his head and beard whenever, whatever. What do you want me to say? Yeah, he was a former world champion. Venom beat him, and that was the end of it. And that's it, man. And then since then, I'm sure he's not been happy about it ever since. So it's just what it is. I know a lot of people don't like Big Time Jason. There is a lot of people, not just Peters, but there's a lot of WTF fans I know for a fact don't like him.
Wow.
He's a little bit narcissistic. Some people say he looks like Popeye on crack, but that's another story.
God. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's him. Yeah, we just saw him.
Well, that's something new.
Yeah. So, but
that's something new.
I'll say right here, I've been doing WTF for the past 25, 26 years, whatever.
Wow.
And out of everybody who's been wrestling, coming on the show, he is considered the most hated wrestler, the most hated personnel on the show in the history show. And I don't know how much I can say enough, but I'm not saying it just for me. I'm just saying from the fan base that I've encountered, and they say that they can't stand Big Time Jason.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Go ahead. You say it away, Gregory. I'm just going to say.
Okay, so as we will stick with Big Time Jason because apparently the ticker has shown. So Jason has apparently been set on trying to be this legend killer for the company.
Legend killer.
Apparently.
Like
but the question is, he's on this campaign. Do you feel that this campaign is really just to try to prove himself as better than anyone else in the company?
Oh, without a doubt. That's completely obvious. But the problem is that he hasn't proven that just yet. He's just you say he's a legend killer. How is he? What legends has he killed yet?
That's a good question, actually. I mean, the only thing I can say is like I haven't been in the company long. He's been in the company longer than I have, so I don't know what happened before I got here.
Yeah, I'm reading right here. It says, what is this? Return of the Mob.
Return of the Mob. So.
I'm confused as what. The Mob was just two guys, and everything all left. It's just what it is. Whatever, man.
Well, I do got a question now. Towards okay, to Nelson again. My question to you is: out of 25 years of your company overall, what is the most craziest highlights can you give us that you experienced overall?
A lot of crazy experiences that I've lived through. Let me see. One of them, somebody got hit with a chair on a live TV on WTF TV many years ago. That's on the WTF Wrestling page, YouTube page. That's one of them. A lot of stuff. Look, we've been to different porn conventions. We've been doing stuff in the studio live. So many things over the years, countless times. You know, but I think, but I will say this. But the biggest one I think is what you consider controversial, and I'll say it right here, is somebody made a big deal about it, which I personally don't, but I could address it really fast. Supposedly I was dry humped by a tranny at an Exotica, and I'll say it right here, I did not have a problem with it at all. That was something different, so I didn't care, and I have no apologies for it, and I'm not going to apologize now. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, whatever the hell it was, and I'm not even sorry to this day.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
Hey, just to each their own. Whatever works, man.
Yeah.
Entertainment. There we go.
Demon?
No, entertainment.
Oh.
Entertainment.
Wow. Scratch the first part. Actually talking about now, let's focus on now, as you mentioned before, Nelson. Is there a date, particularly as you mentioned there, for the next big event you guys are working on right now for WTF Wrestling?
As far as big events, as I mentioned again, I don't know if I'm going to do that this year, whether it's in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, doesn't matter, because right now it's just right now with all this stuff going on, we're in phase 4 would be kind of difficult for having, events at the present moment, whether in New York and New Jersey. That I had to work around. So there's no specific date. We are doing matches though for the viewers out there.
Awesome.
But for now, because of what's going on now, rather be safe than sorry, we're not going to have a full crowd at present moment. Maybe by the end of the year or next year, who the hell knows? Look, personally, I don't mind having a crowd. I don't mind maybe one day, but right now, the way it looks, and you should guys understand, we just got to take one thing at a time. And I don't want to talk about second waves of COVID or whatever, because that's another conversation. But what I'm saying is that rather be safe than sorry. Let's just take some precaution, and let's not. We already been doing shows without fans anyway. We were the originators of having fans at attendance. So WTF did it first before WWE and AEW did it, but at least I'll take that. But what I'm saying is, we're just gonna take one thing at a time. Slowly but surely, we can bring the crowd one more time if we could. You know what I mean?
Baby steps.
It's just, but we're in a crazy world right now, but no one saw this coming. We're like in the 20s. We're being told how to wash our hands in this decade. It doesn't. You should be washing your hands, by the way, though.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this is why I always. I mean, I know it's kind of the running gag of the show, but I always happen to have a mask on me because you just never know when you're gonna need one.
Are you in the crowd? Are you in the crowd?
I'm in the house.
Oh my God! You can't make.
But you never know. You never know.
Oh God. Well, question that's is there
like I'm always going outside with my mask and everything, even though.
Always be prepared.
Well, I actually broke my mask a little bit.
Oh.
Oops.
Nobody saw that.
Always prepared. Always prepared. Though.
That's right. That's right. My next question to you, Nelson.
You have to be.
Then my next question for you, Nelson, is there any new faces you would like to mention that will be a part of WTF Wrestling down the line? Something.
What? What
any
was it again?
New signees?
Any new faces?
Any new signees to the company?
New faces. That's what I thought. I wasn't going crazy. I thought you talking about anal and wrestling. Like, no, we don't do that here.
No,
sorry. No. If they're new faces, I can't discuss them here. But if they're new faces, people will see them soon enough. So again, we built we tried to rebuild WTF Wrestling based on the premise of, you know, people wanted to see wrestling again. People have been saying, oh, we should bring back wrestling. We should bring back wrestling. Yeah, but as you know, Greg, it's not as easy as it looks doing a wrestling show or wrestling TV show. And, you know, it's not like, you know, we're doing this for somebody that wants to retire in 2 years, but that's another story. But that's not what we built the company around. We're just building it to try to entertain people. And as I mentioned to you, Gregory, you should know, doing a wrestling show is not the easiest thing in the world. Hell, doing a show like WTF TV is not the easiest thing in the world either.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you can see firsthand how
I remember filming. I remember being in the studio. It was an experience, to say the least.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't too crazy, but it was something, you know.
Well, unless anybody thinks that they can do a public access show or a TV show like the way I do, you try it yourself and come back to me and see how that experience was.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what else you want to say, Veronica? Wait. Poet? Actress?
No, it's your moment. I'm out of
Okay, well, one of the questions here, as you can see, we're about to ask about Shawn Jenkins. So your thoughts? Do you think Shawn Jenkins will become the next WTF champion, or do you think that Venom will, you know, be able to fight off the challenge of the perfect one?
Oh, that's a good one, actually. Can you hear me first?
Yeah, perfectly clear. I can hear you.
Okay. As far as Shawn Jenkins goes, hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. As far as Shawn Jenkins goes, yeah, I can see him being as the world champion at some point. You know, everybody's asking me for years, how come that guy never got a shot at the title? He has. And some reason he never comes through for whatever reason. You know, Shawn is the perfect wrestler. And then he had different title matches over the years.
Yeah.
Since he's been on the show. But for whatever reason, it just never happened. I don't know. Maybe he'll be a number one contender down the road. He could be a champ. We don't know. Right now, Venom is the world champion. The question is, do you think Shawn can beat Venom? And for the world championship, that is. Only time will tell.
Very interesting.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid to ask any questions or leave any comments.
Yeah.
We are live on YouTube and on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. Nelson, you want to give them the
oh my!
You want to give them the specifications of the different WTF channels, or the names and everything?
Well, if you want to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, you can go at both actually at WTF TV. Very simple. And if you wanted to follow us on Twitter for WTF Wrestling specifically, it's WTF Wrestling 360 because WTF Wrestling on Twitter was taken. So for some reason, I'm trying to work around that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to come up with something clever to make that up. And of course, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube page because we're going to have a lot of more wrestling content, older stuff too. That's why I built this wrestling page. And also we have the other WTF page, which we just got bumped off more than once, but you know, the thing right now is to rebuild everything, and that's why I want to have my own streaming service because I'm tired of YouTube's bullshit.
Yeah.
So, because YouTube,
well, you know, the YouTube,
no matter what rules you do, YouTube always finds a way to fuck you over.
Many ways. Yeah.
A lot of people have been complaining about YouTube, especially within the last about, I want to say, 3 or 4 years. People have been complaining about YouTube because of
since Google took over.
Okay.
Yeah, once they switched the algorithms and once they started to go through the whole process of demonetizing and everything, it just got to the point where a lot of people complained about YouTube, and YouTube and Google said, "Oh, we hear your complaints. We're just going to make it worse for you."
But let's make it clear though. But let's make it clear about YouTube real fast. People will say, "Oh, Nelson, you lost your page. You done fucked up. You're done." I'm like, no, I'm not done. I'm still going, and it's still just the beginning of revamping my YouTube page. And on top of that, once I have WTF World as a streaming video service type, things will change. The game will change, if you will. So I'm not done, if you will. I'm not done fucked up. You know what I mean? As people like to say, Uh-huh. All right. So.
Oh. Yeah.
So edit that out, please. So.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It is true. They're very strict. They're very strict, and you can't even do much anymore. Okay. Yeah. This is live for you guys. You got any comments?
Well,
no, don't worry. I've had to do the same thing over here, so don't worry.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nothing. Yeah.
I feel you guys.
Now you know why I can't do live streamings like this now.
No,
Get that out, please. Anyway.
Oh gosh. No, but back to you saying about YouTube.
Anyway, real fast. Anything else before I forget?
Gregory, yeah.
Sorry. Well. Okay. So we, as you said, that we right now it's going to be a little tough to run in 2020. Any big plans for 2021, 2022? Nice. And who do you see as being the like big pushes, the big names, the big faces that are going to make that big push in the next year or next 2 years for WTF?
To answer that question for you, we're going to see a lot of more wrestlers coming on.
Let me get it. You gotta go talk to her.
Okay.
Go down. You say if you get a big pack, over there, check it out if you got that there.
No, nothing came. No.
Nothing there.
No.
You check it out everything.
I already checked, yeah. Yes.
Well, we wait till Nelson gets situated.
Okay.
Okay, I guess you ready? You ready, Nelson? Just want to make sure I know. Okay.
You good?
Okay, no, it's all right.
Edit that out.
All right.
Make sure that.
No, don't worry. Like I said, I understand.
All right. To answer your question in very short form,
yeah.
We're going to see more pushes, more people coming into wrestling, and also on WTF TV, we're going to do a lot more, entertaining stuff. So look out for 2020 and 2021, to be bigger and better than we are now before. So I can guarantee you that. So things are going to be good for the good. Okay. So There you go.
All right.
Exciting.
And that sounds like that. Yeah, it does. It does definitely sound exciting. And I'm looking forward to being a part of WTF. Looking at being a part of WTF in the sense that I am now, and I want to see how this company grows in the future. So,
that's true.
All right. So Nelson, I guess I should ask. We are going into the summer months. Are there any announcements you want to make as far as WTF programming is concerned?
Yes, right now, for those who don't know and have you ever been following, it already started last night, but every Thursday into Friday nights at midnight on channel 56, MNN2, for those who MNN2 or 56, I'm not sure what's on files and whatnot in Manhattan. And we're doing WTF Wrestling. And let's not forget, WTF TV is also on 11 p.m. Eastern, still on Tuesday night, but we're not doing live, obviously. Everything's going to be on tape delay, unfortunately. But for the duration of the summer, until this is all over, whenever, you know what I mean? So that's what's going on right now.
Okay, that sounds pretty much what needs to be done as far as because like you said, current situation with the pandemic and everything, and how it's affecting not just New York, but it's also affecting the rest of the country, the rest of the world, as a matter of fact. It's been pretty scary. It's been pretty pretty nerve-wracking for a lot of us. Now, you did say that when we come back, when we finally do return and start taping shows again, there we go. When we start having the shows again, what precautions are we going to take as far as addressing talent, addressing fans when we are actually able to have fans, and the current pandemic? What steps will we be taking?
Well, a lot of people are saying, what we're going to do as far as, guests coming on the show, what's going to happen, or wrestling for that matter. We're going to start taking temperatures to some people when they come in, so that way everybody's okay. We're going to get one of those machine guns, not machine, but a gun that checks temperatures and shit. So
the temperature guns,
that's going to be more effective to make sure everything is fine. So
yeah.
So that's pretty much that. So that's that's pretty simple. But again, we're just gonna try to make everything more safe for everybody. We're gonna be starting taping eventually. So yeah. So that's pretty much that.
Awesome. All right. That sounds like
trying to make WTF Wrestling great again, as the crawl says over there earlier. Trying to right now. We're working with what we got.
That's good. Just do what you can, man. One day at a time.
All we can do is work with what we have.
That's right. Definitely right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
But just before I forget, I don't know if we could put the voicemail or any other way to contact me. If anybody wants to be part of the WTF TV, WTF Wrestling, or the WTF family, if you will. There's the voicemail, 212-591-0871. That's the best way to contact us. Even though it's on Veronica's face right now, but that's whatever. If you wanted to be on TV in general, we take anybody, and we take almost anybody. Hey, look, I interview porn stars, I interview wrestlers, I interview anybody. Hell, I interview somebody from the fetish world. I don't care. We'll interview anybody. WTF is like one big interesting bubble, you know what I mean? And believe me, it is. And you can check our website, WTFworld.com again. So if you want to be part of the show in any way, contact me through there. Or as I aforementioned, the WTF voicemail is at 212-591-0871. There you go. That's the number if you want to be part of the show. Oh, it just went away. But okay, but we get the idea. So
can we go get it?
LMAO.
I can't.
LAMO. Okay. LMAO. Yeah.
No, LMFA. No, I'm laughing my ass off here. Yeah, you are. Everybody's laughing their asses off.
Someone says yawn. All right. Yeah. Okay. Thank
Willy
you.
Wonka something. Yay.
Oh, Willy Wonka. He's like, what? It's interesting crowd today.
Well.
No.
Yeah. Exactly. So. It's been an interesting show. I'll tell you this now. But looks like we're gonna wrap this portion up with me. And is there anything else you want to ask before we go?
Actually, there's something that I think I heard about is a buzz in the pro wrestling thing, as they call it. There's a thing where they're stating about the Me Too movement, where men and women are being sexually harassed, and there's been a lot of there. So I want your opinion as well, Nelson, and as well for you as a regular wrestler.
No problem. Yeah. I know you're gonna dive into that, later on, at some down the road. But I'll make this very brief about that situation. Yeah. Again, it's unfortunate that has been brought to light, because I've heard stories like this over the years, and I literally mean over the years. I'm sure Greg has heard the same thing too, over the years. And unfortunately, it's just, I'm not saying it's what it is. It's just, this has been that way all this time, and I think it's now coming to light. And now everybody's starting to realize what's going on. Now it's like, I think what's happening now is that I think wrestling is going to be a very different environment when it comes to like wrestling on shows. It's not going to be the same anymore. That's the best way to say it. I'm not saying for the good or for the bad. It's just, things are different now. Years ago, people were being harassed. People used to do a lot of things just to get into wrestling or be part of it. But long story short, things again being to light, now we got to be a little bit more wary of who comes in or how to get them in. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
No, it
So
makes sense.
now we got to be more cognitive of what to do. And basically, I'm all for, let's do a quick example of this. If women want to be part of wrestling, I have no problem with it. We train, and Greg, you know this. We train them the same way as the men do, in our end. I don't know how everybody else does it, but that's how we do it. We treat them equally.
Of course. That's how you're supposed to.
And let's say a kid underage wants to be in wrestling, but that's kind of tricky because you don't know, if they're ready for something like that, I'm all for kids that want to, go for their dreams, but at the same time, it's a huge responsibility if you're going to train a kid in that kind of a sport.
Yeah, definitely. You're right about that. Gregory, as being a wrestler, what is your point of view on this as well? No, for my question
my thoughts and well, here's the thing. Like, no, go ahead.
No, that was it. I want your.
What was it you wanted to ask?
No, I wanted to know as a.
Oh,
I'm waiting for you, Gregory.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
your input on that.
Yeah, some guy named Willie Wonka's yawning, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, when it comes down to like hearing stories of harassment, hearing, all types of things like that. Yeah, you hear them. The problem is that a lot of times, when you hear some of these stories, sometimes you don't want to believe them. Sometimes you don't want to, because when you're in this business, when you join professional wrestling, when you join it, you basically become part of a big family, and you don't want to think that your family member is a creep, But here's the thing. A lot of times the dirty family secret is there's a creep in your family and they're doing some type of dirt, and because they're doing some type of dirt, you have people that will protect them, either because to give them the advantage, to make sure to hide their dirty laundry. Hey, I watched your back, maybe you can watch mine somewhere down the line. And it's kind of messed up because at the end of the day, you have people that will go out there and do some dirt, whether it's assault somebody or harass somebody, bully somebody. It's one thing to bully, because if you got to stand up to the bully, eventually. But when you have the one bully, that's easy. When you have the one bully backed by a whole mess load of people, then it becomes an issue. And for a lot of the women that were attacked in this business, and even outside of the business, even in regular society, when a woman is attacked, whether she's sexually assaulted, in any sense, it's difficult for them to come out and say something. It's difficult for them because they have that fear that they're going to get retaliated against, that they're going to get attacked. And it's a very sad and very maddening situation, because at the end of the day, you want them to speak out, because you want them to make sure they can make sure that this person that hurt them doesn't hurt somebody else. But at the same time, it's kind of difficult for them because they have to live with that fear, and it sucks. And I know plenty of women that back in the past that have been sexually assaulted, and they have told me stories that, hey, it was hard for them to even admit to something, and it took them years to finally admit something. So I'm when I see the speaking out in pro wrestling and everything, when I see that women and men are coming out about certain things that have happened to them, it's disheartening because it exists within the wrestling business, but it's refreshing because now we're outing the people that are causing all these issues, and we can do something about it.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm with you, man, because I've heard stories like this too over the years, and now it's coming into light. now everybody's like focusing, and now like WWE has fired a few people based on those accusations over the years. In AEW,
WWE,
one
Impact,
person or whatever. But
there's
besides the point.
Oh my God, that's a
yeah.
lot.
Some people have been sent to to go see professionals to
Sensitivity
try to
training.
fix their issues, sensitivity training. Others have been outright just released, whether it's because whether they admitted to certain things or they were outed and they just couldn't deny anything, because if you have a group of people that are saying the same thing, it's kind of bad. But at the same time, like I said, it's rather refreshing to see that people are speaking out and saying what needs to be said, what needs to be brought to the light.
That's actually true. That's one thing I do want to mention here about that. How do you guys feel about Jim Cornette allegations?
Actually, no, you go first.
I'm only gonna say is that in a weird way, some things just don't surprise me. I'm not saying it happened, but again, it doesn't surprise me.
Okay, interesting. How about you?
Hey, look, again, in the wrestling business, there's always some bad apples. There's always going to be something. There's a lot of it. That's just not just one or two people. That's just a handful. That's a lot. You know what I mean? And it's still, and unfortunately, it's been like this since I can remember being involved in wrestling and attending shows. When you hear shit like this, some of it's disturbing, and you'll be like, "Holy shit, man!" Yeah, and also porn is also the same way. Not to compare to porn, but porn has that same thing too. There's always some sort of a behind the scenes where it's like they want this to be higher up. You know what I mean? And now in this era, in this Me Too movement and the speak up thing or whatever, things are starting to get very different. Things are changing. Things are different now. So you just can't get away with certain things anymore. Well, I'm not saying in a good way, but just saying.
No,
that's true. It's very true.
How do you feel about that, Gregory?
Well,
exactly.
As far as the Jim Cornette thing, number one, I walked a lot of circles. Okay, so I even I even have friends in the fetish scene and stuff like that. So I'm not. I've learned never to kink shame. The only kink shaming I do is this thing called race play, which that's a weird. I don't even understand why that's a thing, but I'm not gonna kink shame anyone because everybody has their likes, they have their dislikes, they have their preferences. That's all fine and dandy, but when you hear accusations of someone abusing their position in the wrestling business to try to fulfill certain kinks, then it's like, okay, chill, hold on, you gotta chill out. Like, exactly. I'm not gonna say any details or anything like that because I'm pretty sure if anyone's viewing this and they're hearing this, it is what it is. What's been said about Jim Cornette. It is what it is. I'm not going to kink shame anyone at all. But if you're gonna abuse your position to try to get your way, then that's when I gotta fault you at something. I'm not gonna fault you for having the kink, but I'm gonna fault you for abusing your position, abusing your power, abusing the fact that you can say something and ruin someone's entire career. I'm gonna fault you on that. But then again, these are allegations. And a lot of it hasn't. People have brought out certain things. Jim Cornette has said what he said. He has come to his own defense, and it's like I'm waiting for more details to come out so I can have more of an opinion on it. But remember, my opinion is just an opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like we're talking right now, it's just an opinion.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if these allegations turn out to be true, then it's messed up. It's completely messed up, and Jim Cornette should apologize for all that. And honestly, that's if these allegations turn out to be true.
That's very interesting.
All right. Well, listen, I have to get out of the show here, but I just want to thank everybody for having me on here. And if you guys want to be on the show,
it was an honor having you on.
Give us a call. Yeah, no problem. Give us a call at 212-591-0871. Everybody wants to be on the show. You know, if that's what it takes. You know, if you want to be on the show to wrestle in general, yeah, we are taking wrestlers. It's just that right now we're doing things very slowly. You know what I mean? See, that's my voice. That's the number right there. All right. If you want to be part of the show in any fashion, just give us a call right there. Hell, we're even taking referees. I think you already recommended me one. So WTFworld.com. You can visit the website there. All right.
I can only get the D and the .com.
And that's WTF Wrestling you're watching right now. And watch me on WTF TV Live at any given time. And remember, it's 212-591-0871. Don't forget that. So make sure if you want to be part of the show, and if you're watching this on the TV version, tell us what you think of the show too. That's all. All right, guys. Thank you for having me on. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
And we're back.
All right, let's do the fun time now. All right, thank you guys for watching Nelson. Now we got our own show here. Okay, all right. So Gregory,